Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Marketing Podcast, your source for everything marketing. I'm your host, Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today is a very special Reunion 2020 episode. What is that? That's when I bring on a guest I had on in the past, and I liked him so much I had to bring him right on back. So today we have Renee Lopez-Cantera on the line, and she's VP of Business Development over at Icon Digital. Renee, welcome back to the show.
Hi, Adam. Thanks so much for having me back. Happy to be here.
So I'm really excited to get into today's topic. So talking about segmentation and targeting the right market with your campaign to make sure it's maximum effectiveness. And I know you have a lot of experience doing that, so we're going to go through that. But before we do, for all our new listeners that didn't catch the first episode, let's just start off with what you're doing at Icon Digital. Tell us more about the company, please.
Yeah, so I'm VP of Business Development. I work very hands-on getting new clients, but my favorite part is actually strategizing with them and coming up with plans. So we have a variety of different clients. Sometimes it's an end consumer or CMO, meaning like a business owner with certain goals to reach targets, but we do work a variety of ways with actual ad agencies. So a lot of ad agencies are very good on the creative side, maybe also on the social media side with content, but don't have all of the technical tools, and that's where we come in. We have a lot of the licenses with programmatic, which we'll get into later, but that's everything automated and with technology based on people's preferences and using AI and machine learning.
I love that, and I think that's a great transition. Let's just get right into today's topic. So segmenting and targeting the correct audiences to assure a maximum effectiveness of a campaign. So where do you want to begin?
Well, we work with a variety of different clients in different markets. So, you know, the beauty of digital today is any type of company, whether a national company or with international reach, if they have a product to sell, they really need to reach the right customer because people have a lot of intent these days. It's very easy to think about with like an automobile dealership. For example, people are usually in a market to purchase a car or something big like a home within, say, a few months of the actual purchase time. Sometimes they even start thinking about it way in advance. And the goal of a lot of the companies that sell these products is to actually get them before they make their decision, obviously. So there are different pixels and things that people can do to create lookalike audiences and buy audience data that targets people in real time based on where they're searching on the web. So back in the day, people would have to buy certain spots on, say, publisher websites like a CNN, Fox News, or a local newspaper. But nowadays, it goes right on their audience. So you don't want to waste impressions, and it's very efficient, and the intent is really there.
Let's go a little bit deeper. So let's get into maybe a client example or case study type scenario so we know that we can target audiences. Now, give us some tools and how you've been able to do it for some of you, just so we have a better feel. Let's go deeper.
Sure. So I'm actually based in Miami, Florida, and, you know, the Super Bowl obviously was here recently, and everyone kind of knows we have a lot of condominiums that are on the water. So we worked with a big real estate developer that was selling units right over the water. So obviously this is a very high-end consumer. So they had a test. They said, of course, people come in on their own or through brokers, but we really need to get this message to people, say, who read the Wall Street Journal, who are looking for, say, a third home, if you could believe it, or even an investment property, because I guess investments that are overlooking the ocean, unobstructed view, are really a good investment. So when we look at a plan for any vertical, such as this, we say, okay, where are we going to find these people? So we did some really cool tactics that are newer. People have probably heard of geofencing these days. That's when you can actually fence off a location based on someone's mobile phone and actually target them. And we can even save those device IDs and target them later. So they can be at a private airport. They can be at some place like the Super Bowl. They can be any place like that. And then also using consumer data based on someone's credit card history, maybe American Express usage or Visa audiences. We do that. Also, we work a lot with travel companies. So, for example, we're always looking for the goal, not so much branding, but more on actual conversions. So for another company that was more of a travel company, they're looking for bookings and people filling out lead forms. So we work with them as well, looking at their best tactics. And we always do like an intake. So we have a whole brainstorming session based on what has worked in the past, and we pixelate and tag everything. So in our dashboard, you can see exactly where the traffic is coming and amp up what's working and, pause what might not be working as well.
That's awesome. And so what I like is that you gave examples in very different verticals. So what I'm hearing is that obviously the tools are there. So geofencing, and you named a couple of them. Geofencing, pixels, all these other things, and they're getting more and more advanced. So there's just the amount of ways to reach your consumer. It just blows my mind. But what I'm also hearing though is that you can really develop a campaign for really any type of business. Like, yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, I just gave you some that are like bigger and more interesting in the sense like bigger brands with a larger budget to test. But I mean, we have some local clients, say a plastic surgeon or even a, spine surgeon, or we have others that are even universities. We've worked with several universities that are trying to get leads. And now when you think of digital, it's not only Facebook and Google and SEO, it's this audience buying where you get data in real time. Does someone have a pet? or for education, are they seeking to have a higher education degree? And you can really target based on that. So you're not wasting your ad impressions. And also, actually, with the university client, we did a lot of radio, and there's also digital billboard now. So everything's pretty turnkey, and that's what we like to do, not only with the direct clients, but with ad agencies. A lot of times they want to break into a new revenue source, and we help them with that as well.
That's awesome. And so let's get it just so that the listeners have a better feel. So for ad agencies or for the consumers, so I mean they own the practice. What are the typical type of client that is a good fit for Icon? Let's start there.
Well, we're pretty open to several verticals. I had mentioned real estate, travel, education, and even consumer products I'd say are the top fields, but it's not limited. For example, I recently signed up a company that is doing home debt. So they're actually selling in a very specific geography. We have law firms and firms like that. But we do work with ad agencies a lot when they say, okay, we're their creative agency for, say, a big brand like a cruise line, but they are doing their digital somewhere else, and we'd like to bring that under our wing. So we work with them to white label solutions so that they can have the technology and the platforms to kind of tie the creative with the actual targeting, so they can be more of an all-in-one shop instead of having to hire 5 or 10 technical people to run the campaigns. We have our team, and we're a team of over 120 people. Not only on the audience and business development side, but we have account managers. We call them traffickers and traders who are actually going into platforms every day and optimizing campaigns based on what's working. So we like to bring that approach that we're almost like an extension of the ad agency or an extension of like a marketing department at a company as well.
That's awesome. So, Renee, if somebody's listening to this and they do want more information on Icon Digital, what's the best way for them to follow up?
Well, please find me on LinkedIn, Renee Lopez-Cantera. It's a long name there, but I'm at Icon Digital, which is spelled with an E at the front, E-I-K-O-N. And I'd be really happy to connect with you and even work on some suggestions or brainstorming. That's how we get a lot of our clients. They're happy with our suggestions and they are willing to test. So that's what we do.
Fantastic. Well, hey, Renee, it's been awesome having you back on this show and catching up with you, and also getting your views on how to better, target audiences for maximum effectiveness of campaigns. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Marketing, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, but also leave us comments in the comment section. Love to to hear some feedback on what you're doing in marketing and how you're targeting campaigns. And Renee, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thanks so much, Adam. Take care.